Yesterday we spoke about the key elements of DPDP Act. So I thought today we should also discuss some of the major pitfalls that can be avoided, and you should look at them when you are planning to prepare for your DPDP compliance. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see new content on data privacy, and as I said, let's talk about some of the pitfalls that you would like to avoid when you are planning for setting up yourself for compliance with the DPDP Act 2023. First thing, well, it's personal data, so you need to manage it. Important points while managing: collect for the defined purpose. Simple as I say every time. You obviously would define a purpose as to why you need data, and you will define a parameter as to what data do you need, so that you can use that to give a particular service or a particular outcome, right? So collect the data for a defined purpose, take consent for that purpose, collect only what solves the purpose that you are talking of. If you are clear on your purpose, explain it well to the principal, he'll give you a free and fair consent, which is another important aspect. You don't do that, you get into issues. If you think you have the data and a new purpose, go back and take consent again, which basically means that you collect a particular data for a particular purpose. If you want to reuse it for another purpose, you need another consent, right? You may not need to collect the data again, just get it validated and another consent, and we'll talk about consent also in a slide now. Secure the data on the storage, and when you are transferring the data. Transferring means sharing it with third parties. This could be local, this could be global. Secure, you know the security triad: confidentiality, integrity, availability. Follow those rules. Make sure that you have role-based access. Confidential, available only to people who are authorized to see that. Make sure you have encryption, anonymization type tools available so that its integrity is well maintained. Make sure that you have backups available so that if it goes bad, you have a copy available. Tapes, cloud, replication, whichever way suits you, depending on the criticality of your data, volume, budget, but you need to protect it. Retain only till it is required, till the purpose is solved. And of course, retention period has to be defined with the purpose, right? So any of these things you miss under data management, you can get into problems with your compliance. Then comes the privacy notice, the way, the document that explains the world what is the purpose and how are you going to handle the data that you are collecting. Has to be a very clear privacy notice published around, and it has to have a complete information on processing. By the way, processing under DPDP Act could be any of the 5 processes: collecting data, storing data, sharing with third parties, using it, actual processing it, and deleting it. Digitized data of Indian citizen, right? You need to be compliant with DPDP Act. So complete information of processing: how are you going to collect it, how are you going to store it, which third party is involved, what would be the way you are going to transport it. Ensure anonymization if it's critical or sensitive, right? Your grievance information, your DPO's contact has to be a part of the privacy notice, which very logical that it should have a very clear language to understand. Multilingual, especially in case of India, and DPDP Act says choose any of the 21 languages that have been authorized by or approved by the Constitution of India. No vague language, no technical terms, no legal language in your privacy notices. The next important part is consent management. You define your purpose, you define what you need, explain it, take a free unambiguous consent from your data principal. And as I mentioned in the previous slide, that's free unambiguous consent. If the data is to be reused, you need to take the consent again, right? Consent has to be granular, which means this data required for this service. Do you need this service? Okay, you need the service, then provide the data. So you are doing all the things together. You are asking for a data, defining the clear purpose of the data, and giving the option to the user or the principal or the data subject that if you need this service, then only provide me with this data. You need to give a easy withdrawal. That's one of the fundamental rights of privacy. You can say that the principal should be allowed to withdraw the consent at any point in time, And the fiduciary's job is to maintain consent logs. When did you obtain the consent? When did you use the consent? When it got revoked? When is it going to get expired? When was the reconsent obtained? Right? So all this information has to be logged properly. About user rights and grievances, there has to be a portal access where user can access his rights. Very simple, very basic. He has to have a right to access his own data, right? You should have an interface that can help raise a request for that, monitor your progress towards correction, erasure, basically whatever right he wants to use. Complete set of videos on user rights, both as a summary as well as individual right to access, right to correct, right to erasure, right to object to automatic decision making, and right to reject, right to be forgotten, right? And then you need to show your transparency towards utilization of consent. That's another utilization of consent, withdrawal of consent. These are all the rights that the user has, and you need to provide him with an interface where he can raise grievances. Complete detailed grievance, explaining in as much detail possible, attaching as many screenshots as required, and getting regular updates on status change. Acknowledge within 24 hours, start responding within 7 days. Whenever you respond, send a message, email, SMS, any tool to provide the message, get the message back, and even if you think you have closed it, take a feedback. Is the user or the principal actually satisfied? So these are some of the very critical things that you have to take care of when you are planning to comply with the DPDP Act. If you miss out on any of these things, you are non-compliant. Non-compliant in India can go up to 250 crore rupees. So better be careful. Think the privacy by design model. Keep these points in mind and ensure that whatever systems you are creating new or whatever systems you have and you have to restructure them, they should take care of all the privacy items within as a part of the system as the way the individuals in your organization work. So that's about some of the privacy pitfalls. I hope you like the content of the video. Please press the bell and the like icon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.